Do you find that you procrastinate over those tasks and activities that you know you really need to do if you're going to be successful with your business, and if you're going to take your business to that next level that you want to take it to? I know a lot of entrepreneurs who find themselves procrastinating over putting proposals together for potential clients because they're nervous about this process. They're nervous about whether or not they're going to get that job that they really want. And the thing is that your results are directly related to actually getting things done in your business and completing these kinds of activities that are going to generate the big results for your business. So there are some ways that you can address procrastination, and you can overcome it. And that's what I really want to talk to you in this video about. And I'm going to share with you, if you have been procrastinating over those activities that you know you need to get done, then I'm going to share with you exactly how you can overcome this, because it's so important to your success as an entrepreneur. So I know myself that there are certain activities that I procrastinate over, and there are certain ways that I've been able to overcome that. And so I'm going to take you through a process here to support you with understanding why you procrastinate, what the kind of activities are that you procrastinate over, and how to overcome it, so that you can just break free of this procrastination once and for all. Okay, so the first step that you want to take to start breaking free of procrastinating is to actually start understanding, well, when is it that you procrastinate? What is it you procrastinate over? So are there specific activities that you procrastinate over? And what are the feelings that you feel when you're procrastinating? So are there some emotions that are underlying why you're procrastinating? And to be honest, there's always emotions like anxiety or fear or boredom that are underlying the reason why we're procrastinating. So getting in touch with those feelings and understanding what they are is going to really help you. And then it's useful to also know, what are the activities you do to avoid the task that you're meant to be doing? So how do you actually avoid getting on with that task? What do you find yourself doing? So this is really about getting to know your habits, getting to know your behavior. And once you understand your behavior, you can start to do something about it. So in terms of actually overcoming your procrastination, what I would recommend you do is to think of your procrastination like a race, and to know that there are points at which you're likely to find yourself procrastinating in that race. If you're starting the race and you're about to run a track, think about, is it at the start of the race that you find yourself procrastinating? So if you procrastinate at the beginning of doing the task, so you procrastinate over getting started, if that's you, then what you need to do is to help get the motivation to actually get started with the task. So think to yourself, what is the benefit of me completing this task? What is that going to do for my business and for my life, for me personally? And write all of those benefits down so that you can start to get that motivation to get started. Also, if you struggle with just getting started, what I tend to do, because I have that, I can sometimes procrastinate over getting started with tasks. What I do is I tend to do that activity or that task first in the day. So I will plan it into my calendar. I will plan an amount of time that I'm going to spend on it, maybe a lot, even only half an hour to that activity, just to start off with. And then I will do that activity before I do anything else, so that I basically push myself to start on it and not to delay it. But when that half an hour is up, even if I've got really into that task, I then stop and notice that I've completed that half an hour. And if I want to, I can reset for another half an hour. So you're really working with yourself, and you're basically getting your buy-in to complete the task. You're basically getting your motivation and you're getting your buy-in, but you're also you're being very aware of the boundaries around that buy-in. So you don't just continue on after the half an hour without actually stopping and checking in and acknowledging that you've actually completed half an hour of completing that task. And if you want to set another half an hour, you basically are creating that boundary again around that time frame. Okay, so that's if you procrastinate at the beginning. If you think of this race, that it's like halfway around the circuit where you find yourself procrastinating, maybe because you've got distracted by some other idea that you've had for your business that you then want to get started on. And so you've lost that motivation and you've lost that fire for the particular activity or the task that you were meant to be focusing on. If that's you, so it's like halfway around, it's at the middle of completing a task that you find yourself losing attention, losing focus, and then procrastinating and not completing it, what you need to do is to write a plan and to plan out the start, the middle, and the end for completing that task, so that you know that if you've got distracted at the middle point, you've got a clear plan for how you can complete the task, so that you can keep your attention and your focus and your desire on completing the task. And I would also recommend working with yourself around, rewarding yourself for completing tasks, and saying, okay, I'm just going to focus on this, getting this one to completion before I start something new. And giving yourself a reward for doing that. So whether that is giving yourself a hours massage or something, rewarding yourself once you've completed, and setting that reward when you're at, before you get to that middle stage, so that you know that you've got that coming up. That can help as well. Okay, so if you are someone who actually is on this race, running around the track, and you got started fine, you got to the middle point fine, but you can see the end in sight, you're so close, and that's when you just kick in the procrastination and you just like put on the brakes and stop. The reason what's going on there is you've got a fear of being successful. That's really what is affecting you from completing the task. And that's why you're procrastinating. It's all about fear here. And so for you, what you need to do is you need to work on your limiting beliefs. What I would do is I would visualize myself being successful and completing the task. And I would look at any fears or anxieties I have around being successful, because that's a kind of what we call upper limiting that's going on here. And a lot of people can struggle with feeling afraid of being successful. What will happen if I actually am successful? Will I end up with too many clients and become completely overwhelmed and not be able to cope? That's the kind of thing that can come up for people, and maybe that's what's coming up for you. So what I recommend you do is that you work on those limiting beliefs, address what will happen if, address those questions, and also visualize yourself being successful, and perhaps employ some of the other techniques that I've suggested, like completing the task first at the beginning of the day before you start any other work, setting yourself a timer around it, setting boundaries around it, and even maybe giving yourself a reward, planning in a reward for if you complete that task. You're going to reward yourself with something that is going to be that you really want. Okay, so good luck with this. What I would love to see you do is overcome any kind of procrastination that's been holding you back. And I look forward to also hearing from you. Please do message me or write in the comments, anything about your experience of procrastination. I'd love to hear from you about that. All right, thanks, and bye for now.